How's it going, everyone? Jiivita here with another quick start video. Last video we went over basically how to spec different characters. So this episode I think we're going to focus on traveling to a new planet. There's basically, I see 3 different options at this point in the game. One, you could stay on your current planet and farm things like stone and wood, maybe build a home, maybe even move your home closer to something like a settlement that has better resources available, or at least like better shops and portal hubs and things like that. You kind of incubate your character in that way. However, if you're largely interested in getting things like new tools, better resources, that's really going to require at least traveling to a settlement to buy those things, or traveling to a whole new world that actually has those resources in any kind of abundance. Your starter planet is going to have plenty of copper, fossils, soft coal, but if you're going to want anything like iron or anything higher beyond that, you're really going to have to go to another planet. So that is pretty much what we're going to do today. So one method we could use is come over here and grab some of these warp augments that we made a couple of episodes ago, pop one of them into your totem, and then basically look for a new planet to travel to. You're going to be a little bit at the mercy of whatever is in range, but luckily Batulia is actually right here. So we could go ahead. Looks like that yellow icon is going to be the capital. It's a little bit kind of hard to aim for things, but let's kind of get in the general vicinity of the capital. And there we go. Now we have a saved location for that planet, basically where we just aimed. There it is right here, and what we can do is we can either return to Sanctum and use the inactive warp conduits there, or we could come over here and grab some rock and trunk and make our own warp conduits. Certainly, it's free to use the ones in the Sanctum, so I see little reason to not use the ones in the Sanctum unless you wanted to move your entire base all at once. So you could pack up both of your characters, make these physical warp conduits, open up a warp, and these will actually stay open for up to 1 minute. So if you're ready to run through, you could run through with your first character, have your second character all packed up, log out very quickly onto your other character, and then run through the same warp. And that way both of your characters can go through the same warp, and which will save you a little bit of coin. So that is a perfectly valid way of doing it. However, you are at the mercy of whatever is in the sky, and you can't always see these level 3 worlds. You'll often see plenty of level 1 and 2 worlds, but those are the starter planets and really won't help you get to any higher level worlds. And certainly sometimes you'll see a level 3 world and you'll be able to save a location, but it will be a little bit too far away for you to actually warp to, at least without skills. So another way that I would actually probably recommend even more is to take a look at your compass up at the top. These purple icons are permanent or player portals. They stay open as long as they're fueled, so if you see them on the compass, that means they are open and they lead to at least somewhere. So if you're out kind of in the wilderness like I am and you see some portals nearby, chances are they are going to lead you to civilization, and most likely to some portal hubs to take you to other planets. A few things you'll probably want to take with you to the new planet, especially if you're planning on doing some gathering, is a 1 or 2 maybe blank atlases, and come down here and at least 2 copper grapples. 3 would be kind of nice just to have a backup, but with 2 grapples you can pretty much climb up anything, so it's super invaluable for getting out of like little caves, holes in the ground, climbing up trees, just all sorts of things. They are pretty easy to make, just some copper bars, sackcloth, glue, and ancient tech remnants. The sackcloth is made in an extractor from fibrous leaves, so pretty straightforward to make them, just takes a little bit of time. Once you have your grapples, you can put one in each hand, even if they are in the same smart stack. So you can simply open the smart stack and drag one down onto one hand, and then drag a different one onto the other hand. Now when you want to grapple something, you can use the corresponding mouse buttons or corresponding triggers. So with the mouse button, I can click and it shoots, and then if you're using the controller, you would use the same trigger to then pull yourself in. If you want to go back down, you can use the corresponding bumper to go back down, or hit F on the keyboard. Very nice. And if you want to let go for PC, you would just click the mouse button again to let go, or for the controller, you would hit down on the D-pad to let go of the oldest grapple. Another good thing to note about grapples is that you can pull yourself up onto ledges, so I can grapple the edge of that leaf block right there, pull myself up, and as you can see, I'm not going to be able to get up here. However, if I hold down forward and hit the jump button, it'll make me hop up, and then holding forward will cause me to land on the leaves. So quite nice. And this allows you to get out of all sorts of situations where you would otherwise just have to either build or dig your way out of. Okay, so I traveled a short distance over to this portal, so my home is just right there on the compass. Here is the portal. This actually leads to another level 2 world. However, if we pop through here, we can see that there's even more portals, so hopefully these will eventually lead to civilization. It looks like there's actually even a shop on that boat. So certainly a good idea would be to, at least on this side of the portal, to save the location by hitting P and then going over to locations, current location, and add to location list. That way you can always set a waypoint to get back to this portal that then takes you right back to your home, or at least the same planet, so you can then warp to your home if it's a substantial walk. But let's head over here and see where this other portal takes us. Okay, so we made it over to this shop. Not that it was hard to get here, but this is an example of basically player trading happening even if one player is offline. So these blocks right here with the red cloth, these are shop stands that will allow you to buy items from the player. Over here we have request baskets with the blue cloth that will allow you to sell items to them. So we could take some of this cloth and sell it to them and get some coins out of that basket, or we could come over here and spend our coins and get some of these items like these tech fragments right here. It's good to note that prices can vary wildly depending on where you're at, so these more secluded shops, sometimes you can find some really good deals and sometimes they're really bad deals, so certainly pay to do a bit of exploring around to get a feel for the market at least a little bit. So this is the Portal Seeker hub that connects all of the planets together and a lot of shops together as well. There are other portal hubs that will work just fine, but this is the one I'm most familiar with, and just about all portals will eventually lead to a Portal Seeker hub somewhere. So here we go, now we're on Betulia. This is a level 3 world, so we could go gather here, or we could explore many of these portals. We probably will want to, yeah, here we go. So this is the portal we went through, so this seaside shop, we could save the location or jot down the name, take a screenshot, all sorts of things to help us remember how to get back home. Okay, so I went through this shopping portal and I found a pretty decent deal here. So we have some iron sling bows, hammers, and fist weapons. These fist weapons are particularly potent. They do a lot of damage. They're a little bit on the slow side, but you can put 2 on at the same time and kind of do a 1-2 punch. They break blocks as well as kill creatures, so they are very potent, and this is actually a pretty decent price, $150. You can find prices a little bit cheaper than this, but you can certainly find prices a little bit more expensive. The nice thing about the sling bows, they will do less damage than the fist weapons, but they'll have a longer range usually. And certainly if you can find some iron shovels and axes, those can be handy as well. However, this will probably do us pretty good, especially since we can use these fist weapons to gather blocks. And another good thing to note is that if you bring some fibrous leaves with you, you can almost consider these as money. So I could actually sell some of these fibrous leaves to this basket. They're only 10 coins a leaf, which is it's on the low side, but for the time being, the general going price is anywhere from 10 to 20-ish coins. Okay, that is the basic rundown on how to leave your first planet and get to a level 3 world, as well as doing a bit of trading with other players even if they are offline. Certainly if you're going to go out and explore on this level 3 planet, you'll probably want to pick up some kinetic armor, but I'm going to save most of that for next episode of introducing the new creatures, as well as finding the new resources in order to progress. Certainly you do not have to trade with other players if you don't want to, but keep in mind if you don't mind doing a little bit of shopping around, you can really give yourself a bit of a boost by buying some tools that otherwise would take you quite a bit of time to craft yourself. Anyway, this was Jiivita. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more like this, and if there's anything you didn't like, please let me know down below. Also, if you like my channel, want to get cool perks, check out my Patreon page. Until next time, peace.